Some of this is old news, however. Avada has confirmed that they have finalized their roster with Vestola, so I figured it would be a good time to discuss. If you don't want to stay for the breakdown, here is the new roster. For DPS, they retained Flex DPS Naga from 2021, and have picked up Hitscan DPS Glister from the San Francisco Shock. For Tank, they have retained their support line from 2021 with Darn and Vestola. For support, they have retained their 2021 support line of Karn and Drydro. Finally, for coaches, they have retained head coach Mac from 2021, while picking up assistant coach Mo Budgie from Team BM in Contenders. With that out of the way, the breakdown starts now. Starting with the DPS, this is the only spot in which they made any changes to their roster, dropping both Sana and Onigod in favor of Glister. This DPS line is honestly pretty strong. Naga is amazing at his comfort picks, though a bit inflexible and not top tier on anything but Pharah. But Glister is much more flexible than people give him credit for. He is great at every hitscan, but also pounds as Duam first, Tracer, and Somber. I feel like he can fill in any holes in hero pools needed for the team to succeed. He's held his own at the top against people like Bidring, Kai, and Carp, so this is a pretty big pickup in my opinion. The only issue with this roster is that it lacks a bit of depth. I'm surprised they didn't go for another DPS to solidify a double hitscan or hitscan tracer meta. I'd expect Naga to grind the tracer over the off-season, but it is still worrying. Other than that, this is a very solid DPS duo, and you can expect even greater things from Naga now that he is in there and on low ping hopefully. I give this lineup a 6 out of 10. I have worries with hero pool depth and think they'll struggle with double hitscan or hitscan tracer or hitscan somber meters, and I don't think Naga can quite live up to Glister and a lot of the other flex DPS in the league, but I think they'll be quite strong as an upgrade. Next, the tank line. It is the exact same tank line as last year. Darn is a very good ball and Oriza, though his Winston and Reinhardt are lacking. Honestly, though, he is a bit mid-tier on ball as well. Vestola is quite good, though. He carried the Eternal at times last season, and was consistently amazing on Ludwig even after coming in as a replacement pick, being pretty high statistically. Unfortunately, his Sigma is not great, and he hasn't shown any Zarya whatsoever, which could be concerning. I think Darn has a decently high ceiling. He seemed to improve a lot, same as Vestola. I think they haven't shown us everything they have, but from what we've seen so far they seem to be a middling to low-tier tanklin. I'll give them a 5 out of 10. They are less exciting than the DPS line, but have shown they can tangle with the best at their peaks. But Darn is nothing top tier, and Vestola seems like a one trick until further notice. Next, the support line. Their support line is genuinely cracked, and will likely be one of the better ones in the league. Karn was one of the better flex supports last season, being arguably better than Crimzo. His Ana genuinely carries a lot of fights, hitting huge nades and sleeps consistently, and his Baptist is consistently very good as well. Drydro was crazy consistent and good even though he was not only an emergency signing, but also having the worst connection issues out of all of them. His Brig is top tier, and his Mercy is quite good as well, though I'm a bit low on his Mercy and Lucio. These guys on low ping are going to be a fright. I'll give them a 7 out of 10. They are still worse than a lot of current support lines in my opinion, but they have high ceilings and are very exciting. Another potential issue is a lack of flexibility to double flex support comms, but for a backline, they aren't bad. Finally, the coaching. Big downgrade, unfortunately. While Mac is returning and that is exciting, losing Get Amazed is a pretty massive blow. Get Amazed was the coach primarily identified as the one who gave the members of Paris their iron mental, giving them the strength to stay in and never give up even in overtime, which famously led them to reverse sweep the Gladiators after a pep talk. I can somewhat understand him not being a good head coach, though allegedly his macro analysis wasn't the best, but it's still a shame. He was amazing for them last year. And Mobadji isn't anything special from what I've seen. He was very good with General in 2019, but hasn't had any real success with General G or Team BM. The team is also weird, because they have full Korean staff, but 5 out of 6 players are European, and they also let go of their translator, allegedly making Avala do the work, because the org is horrible. Overall, not too inspiring, but Mac is great and Mobadji has a bit of promise. But overall, 5 out of 10 coaching, overall a 6 out of 10 team. I do think that the team showed promise last year. Nega, Vestola and their supports especially were very good, but people seem to forget that they were generally a middling team. Their quote-unquote beating expectations came from them having the easiest schedule in the league. They were 4-8 against teams with 2 wins or more. I know this seems like a repeat of last year, where people underestimated them and they ended up decent, but I don't think it is promising. And losing Get Amazed hurts their mental a good amount in my opinion. Though I will say, these guys are going to be very synergized due to having essentially the same team 2 years in a row, so that could absolutely give them a boost into next year. And on top of that they will likely be on low ping. But for now, I would temper expectations. Thanks for watching, and remember to like and subscribe for more. I upload almost daily Overwatch League content, and I am trying to hit 100 subs by Season 5, so any subscription helps greatly. Thanks.